All right.
so I can
I'm
pull it
hitting
up.
record. All right. 3,
All right.
2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Caped Complainers. We are a weekly podcast show talking about all things that make us go, ooh, yeah. And they're usually nerd topics as well. Joining me, as always, I have the complainers. I have Tim.
Hello.
I have Devin.
What's up?
And I have the pretty boy, the one y'all really come to see, Reed.
Is that what I'm labeled?
Yes.
Yes, officially. That's on the copyright. They just say Reed is the best.
God, I just had to endure that, like, going at the same time because I was listening to you, but I was also, like, checking the Twitch. So I just had to endure that whole thing, like, happening, like, half a second after each other.
Can I just say you said twime?
I know, and I wasn't going to draw attention to it. Thank you.
Oh, I was definitely going to draw attention to it. So today's episode, it's kind of a battle of Gotham, the brawl of the bats, all that kind of stuff. We're talking Gotham Knights, the TV show, and Gotham Knights, the video game. But before we do that, we have thoughts with Devin.
Yeah. So I was sick this week, and while I was sick, I was sitting on my couch, I was playing games and resting, and I was thinking, doing these random thoughts that I do, and I thought about quicksand, right? Like,
Sure.
I don't understand it. Do you understand it? Because for the longest time, I just thought it was like dry or like wet-ish sand with like air pockets. But every time that I've ever tried to research it, that's not what it seems. So I don't understand, like, A, how you don't know that it's there, and then B, how it like catches you and how you just get stuck in it.
Can I
Right?
just say
Like-
your thoughts are like a bad Seinfeld impression? It's like, what's the deal with quicksand? What's the deal with baloney?
And that's fine.
What's the
That's how
deal
you're-
with quicksand? Is it that? Or is it not?
Yeah, I feel like just your inner thoughts are just ridiculous.
Yeah,
So
well,
your question is you don't understand quicksand.
do you? Like, could you explain to me right now how it works, Greg?
Oh, well, first of all, quicksand is not how it's perceived in movies and TV shows and all that stuff. It's actually not dangerous at all. The media has been lying to you people. Quicksand is not the problem.
I want you to prove that it's not dangerous, Greg. I want to watch you go in quicksand.
I don't have any quicksand on me.
We'll travel.
But I can assure you there's not really anything to think about quicksand because you're never going to encounter it in your life.
Yeah, but I still want to know how it works. I want to know, like, why it's like, oh, you can get stuck and you can die and you can do all this stuff. I've been to the beach. I've done that thing where I stand in the mud on the beach and I go and I like jump up without jumping and I slowly start sinking in, and like that's harder to get out of than I assume quicksand would be.
Yeah, but here's the thing with quicksand. It's like a bunch of like loose debris like sand and silt and other things, and there's water inside of it, and the water doesn't escape anywhere, unlike at the beach where the water just goes back into the ocean or sinks even deeper.
Yeah.
Like it's
Hey,
just
David,
this giant pit of loose dirt and stuff and water, and then you just get stuck.
Yeah, that's pretty much what all it is. Like you can do what I just did, and I just Googled explain quicksand.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
That's pretty much what Tim just said. Pretty much.
No,
I'm
but
pulling it up right now.
It forms saturated loose sand when the sand is suddenly agitated. When water and the sand cannot escape, it creates a liquefied soil that loses strength and cannot support weight. So it is dangerous. That's why you sink, is because there's nothing strong enough to hold the weight of the person. And whenever you push down on it, that moves the sand and silt, whatever beneath you. That's how you go down.
Yeah, and it's actually not that dangerous. You could literally just get out of quicksand. It's not going to like suck you in. And if it does, it doesn't suck you in.
But see, like what they're saying goes against what you're saying, Greg, because there's nothing to push up against to get out if you're in deep enough. Right? Like if you're
it's
just
sand.
roll out. Okay.
It's not
okay,
like
Greg.
In the Google search, it says, "Is quicksand dangerous?" And it specifically says no. Quicksand is not dangerous. You can
because my first thought when Tim was describing it was like, okay, so like Why can't you just swim in it? But then Reed explained, he's like, oh, well, it can't, like, there's nothing to push against, so you just sink. And that makes sense. But, like, I don't, now, like, how do you just roll out of it, Greg?
I don't know what
How
to
do you just
believe.
roll out of it?
I'm just saying this thought is a typical Devon thought, but it's silly. Quicksand is something that you're never. A man who gets gout every week is never going to experience quicksand.
You
I
know what? I'm
promise
just
you
going to
that.
say that I never got gout
Savage.
before I could not afford to eat. And now that I have money and I can afford to eat, like, stuff other than ramen and PB&Js, I'm living like a king. And if that's what gout is, I'll take it.
So, before we
Uh,
move on, did you know? I'm looking at the wiki for quicksands. Patches of
Oh,
quicksand
Wiki,
oh,
wiki
found.
because because Wikipedia is reliable.
Will you shut the
Go,
heck up?
Sorry,
go ahead.
You think
Tim.
anybody finds your outbursts entertaining?
I do.
Hmm.
My mom does.
If it's
Anyway,
anything like your thoughts, it's not.
they're saying that patches of quicksand found in Maine along the Maine coast are known as honeypots.
All right.
Good
So,
job.
Greg,
Thanks.
let's go to Maine.
Hold on. One last thing. Quicksand has the density of about 2 grams per cubic centimeter, whereas the density of a human body is about 1 gram per cubic centimeter. At that level of density, sinking beyond about waist height in quicksand is impossible.
Huh.
So, Greg,
Okay.
let's go to Maine and let's put you in one of these honey pots and watch you just roll out.
Good. I love honey. It'll be great. At the time of my life. Are you paying for the flight? That's what I
No.
thought. That's what
Oh.
I thought. All right. Well, this has been Thoughts with Devin.
Can we do this not again?
I think we're kind of committed to it now. We're going to do it at
Yeah, I
least.
got some. I'll have some good ones, man. But,
And
like, I've
we're
been
going to do
sick,
it at least
and
3 more times.
Yeah, you said you got some good ones. Where do you rank this on? a
He's
scale
like,
of
this
1 to
was
10?
this is 10 out of 10.
hey,
Oh, God.
I didn't get to drive very much this week. Usually, all my thoughts are like in my car. This was like on the bed, like on the couch, like
He only
not feeling well.
He only
So
has
getting
one
gout.
thought a week, so let's give
Yeah.
him a little.
Yeah, it's an empty barrel until he has one thought. Well, I don't really have any new nerd news. The only nerd news that I have is they are making the PlayStation game Stray, the cat game,
Yes.
into a movie.
Oh, I have one. It's not a
Hmm.
death. They're remastering the old Gargoyles video game.
Ooh,
That's
not
all.
the show.
No, but that's still
Okay.
on Disney Plus, and I want to watch it again.
Yeah. All right. Well then, oh, we just lost.
See you, Devin.
See you, Devin. All right. Well,
He's gonna cry after his quicksand.
I know.
know,
He's like,
he's
I thought it was good.
screw you guys. Well, since Devin's gone, we're going to go ahead and go into the topic. Today's topic is, like we said at the top of the show, Gotham Knights versus Gotham Knights. Basically, there's the show on the CW, Gotham Knights, which is a stupid little teen drama, and the video game from Warner Brothers Montreal, Gotham Knights, which was, I believe, it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive. I don't know if it went anywhere else. But
Yeah, no
that's
clue.
what we're going to be talking today.
Yeah.
Kind of comparing the two and seeing which Gotham Knights comes out on top. Let's start with Reed, since he's actually watched the whole show. And have you beaten the game?
Yeah, the whole story wise, yeah.
Nice
Yeah.
job.
Okay. So we're gonna start with you with the first one. In your opinion, which of the two has the better team? I know the CW introduces a whole new group of people to be the Knights, and then the video game has the classic Knights. Which one do you think is the superior team?
I do not think the TV series is relatable because
Mhm.
I guess maybe it is just too teen drama for me, I guess. So that sort of sways me away from that. But I mean, again, they just get dropped into the situation. We don't get much knowledge of their expertise and stuff like that, it just comes to them and they just know this stuff. And so it just comes randomly in the show. But
Yeah.
in the game, we know, there's, Batgirl, there's Red Hood, there's Robin, and then there's,
Nightwing.
what's he called?
Nightwing.
Yeah, he's called Nightwing. And we all know that they've all been trained by Batman. They've been under his wing and wisdom and stuff like that. And so
Yeah.
we know where that comes from. And so I think, I'm sure, as you can tell from me talking, probably the video game night, Gotham Knights,
Yeah,
because
'cause
we know where they've got their teachings and their muscle memory, when things
Yeah.
go down, stuff like that.
it feels more appropriate with the main 4 team, the Batgirl, Nightwing, and everybody. This show, it introduces a couple of chicken McNobodies. Like, I don't know any like
Exactly.
the adoptive son, what's his name? Connor or something? Something stupid. But, like, it's
Yeah,
not like that could have easily have been Dick Grayson, Tim
yeah.
Drake, Jason Todd. It could have been anybody instead of this nobody. And then they threw in the Joker's daughter for some
Well,
reason.
Yeah.
And and then like 2 other people who were siblings or something.
Those
just
are those
weird.
are real comic book people though.
The
So like,
twins?
yeah, they are a while like recently, but far enough back to forget about it. Batman learned about Harper, who was like trying to take care of her brother, and she has like electrical experience and stuff like that, and she became, God, I think her name is like Blue Jay or something, Jaybird or something.
I had never heard of that, so I
Harper
was just
was in the Dark Knight Returns movie, right? Or yeah, in the movie, like the 2-part movie. You guys remember?
No, that was
I
Carrie
remember Carrie
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah,
Oh,
Carrie
Carrie
Kelly.
Kelly. Oh, okay.
And she's the Robin in this for some reason.
Yeah, and
And
like that's
so
supposed to happen way in the future.
yeah,
Well, they
it
do
just
have the
doesn't
mutant
feel right.
gang going on, so
Yeah, they did have that. But it just doesn't feel right. Like one, like Reed said, it's too teen drama for me, and it's just like, who cares? Like, I'm supposed to, and Joker's daughter is cringy when she talks and all that stuff. Everything
yes.
about it, if you're a teenager, you'd relate to it more or like it, I guess.
yeah,
But
she's the angsty
yeah, she's like,
edge lord.
yeah, I'm gonna be edgy because I was born and raised in Arkham Asylum and all that stuff. I'm just like, you look like a loser. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, um,
She's inconsistent
Harper
as a character too.
Harper Row, not Harper Cullen. Cullen is her brother. She's known as Bluebird and is one of Batman's allies, and is
Okay,
for a while she's part of the Bat family.
okay.
Um,
I don't think I'd ever thought about her,
yeah.
but I was just wondering who these nobodies were. Um, but to talk a little bit about the game, um, they definitely, I agree with Reed. The game definitely has the better team. The one thing I wished that they did in Gotham Knights, the game, you can play as either of the heroes, but you're alone. Like, the heroes don't come with you. I wish that you had the whole team with you on the missions, so you can kind of like have like some help and do
Well,
some stuff that way. I thought that would have been cool.
I think it's like that because the original Batman games, it was just you as well, and so
Mhm.
you just had to worry about you. You didn't have to worry about a team and stuff like that.
Yes, I see your dog, Reed.
But I mean, those Batman games were badass from the beginning. All three of them great. Uh,
4. There were
four,
4 of them.
four.
Well,
Oh wait,
one of them was a different kind of group or developer who made the game, but there's 4. It's Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight.
is the Arkham Origin? I guess I didn't play the Arkham Origins.
Yeah, Arkham Origins was made by, I don't know if Rocksteady made it,
No,
but it was in the same universe.
Got
And you play, it's basically like year 1 of Batman kind of thing. It's just like he's just now starting out. and you
Oh,
get to
okay.
see a little bit of like him making the relationships that he does.
It's his
And
his first like meeting and introduction with the Joker, essentially.
yeah, yeah,
Gotcha. I never heard of that
yeah.
game.
Check it out. It's actually pretty good. I think it stands up with the with the other games.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Man, one thing I missed in the Gotham Knights game was Batgirl's her game style is uh she's sort of the tank and the hitter. Like her upgrades focus on critical strike chances and critical damage when you do get those critical strike chances. And so she was more the melee, which I felt like she was more closer to the actual Batman play and stuff like that. One thing
Yeah.
I wished, and I played with Devin on the game, and I know I
Mhm.
kept saying it, was I wish that they had the cape to where you could daze him a little bit and then just bah, 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 bah. But unfortunately, they couldn't. They didn't have that. And then the gliding across the city, it wasn't as smooth in this one with her than it was in the original Batman's.
Dude,
Everything in Gotham Knights is a watered down version of the
Yeah,
original Batman games. I hate the combat. It doesn't feel fluid. The traversal thing, the Bat cycle is the slowest superhero vehicle ever made. It's like you're literally going the same speed as the other cars on the street. And it's
yeah. You're now
not
that you mention it. Yeah,
yeah, it's not really good. Like I feel like if Rocksteady actually made it, then it would be something really special. But it didn't feel right.
see,
Yeah.
Greg will just sit there and take a poop on it. Like I enjoyed it. I had fun playing with it. It was a lot more fun with somebody else. I will say, I wish that in the game they would let us play with more than just two people, because I think the three of us tried it and it would only let two of us be in a
oh
group.
yeah, you're right.
If you
Um,
have 4 characters, there should be 4 players.
and the only time they let you do that is when you do the raids, which we
Oh,
didn't do.
gotcha.
Yeah. I think that like the weakest parts of the game for me were like everybody's like special traversal
Glider.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
like Batgirl's made sense. Nightwing's was okay. Like it was
Yeah.
definitely better than the other two, the last two.
Yeah.
I don't understand why
Robin
they did what they did for
yeah.
the last two.
Robins were stupid. He can teleport.
Dude, I will say it was stupid, but it was real handy.
It was
But
real
it was
good.
still very stupid.
Yeah,
Um,
and then what was Red Hood, he could just, like, jump on something or, like, air
like
jump.
magic platforms that he made.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the Lazarus pit, give him this power. Like, didn't make that doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
yeah.
it's just stupid. Like,
Um,
me personally, I didn't like either. Gotham Knights, the game is, for me, the superior, just because it's it's got a good story, I will say, I do love the story, but just the gameplay of it is just a chore to get.
I liked the
Little
fighting
repetitive.
for the most part because, like, yeah, it's repetitive, but like if you're not going to be playing it for hours and you're just going to hop on for like 30 minutes, like I feel like if you want to play as one of these characters, it gives you a decent like, oh yeah, we're gonna hop over here and fight a few like criminals off the street and be done. Um, I thought that part was enjoyable. I think it is repetitive. I think having to go out and find clues every night is kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But I liked the actual combat parts of it. Some of the abilities though, I was like, meh. I was Nightwing, and like one of the abilities that I loved for him was because he's so acrobatic, he can flip around to dodge and get away from places.
Yeah.
But what I hated was once you upgrade it all the way, when you end it, he does a big smash, and it takes you a second to get out of it, but it's supposed to like knock everyone around you down. But I don't want that because that's not the acrobatic style that I want. I want to be able to like smash and then get back and like do one more flip and then still be able to attack. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Alright, so then, Tim, you watched 1 episode of Gotham Knights, the show, and you haven't
Yeah,
played the game.
not at all.
What was your first thoughts on the team that was in Gotham Knights, the show?
It was super angsty, super cringy. Um, I really like Misha Collins. I think that's his last name, Misha. The
Yeah.
guy who plays
Harvey, yeah,
Detective
Harvey
Harvey. Um, I liked him in the second I saw him, I had to pause it and be like, "Is that the dude from Supernatural?" Because I
Yeah.
like
Is that
Supernatural.
Castle?
Yeah, and I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then they called him Harvey later on, and I was like, "Now is he Harvey Dent?" And you guys
Yes.
clarified that he is Harvey Dent. So I was super
I
excited
thought
to see him. I really
And
like
he's
him.
the best. He's the best part of the whole show.
Yeah, so
It
far,
should have just been a Harvey Dent show. It would have
yes.
been great.
So far,
when
But
when they said Harvey the first time, I thought it was Harvey Bullock for the longest time. Uh,
uh, yeah.
but I was wrong.
At first,
Is
I
that
thought he was supposed to be um, Commissioner Gordon because he was putting the jacket around young. His name's not Taylor. What's the Batman's son's name?
stupid ass name. Oh my
Yeah, let me see.
god.
I like
Turner
Greg. He
Hayes.
can make nobody. Just call him that.
Yeah, he's a nobody. Like I
It's
even looked it up. I was like, is he like a deep
No,
character?
he is an original character for this script, and it is stupid.
It's
I
so
thought with the
stupid.
sword, he was supposed to be kind of like Damian Wayne.
Yeah,
Nope.
I thought he was gonna be. His name is Turner.
He's
Hayes
just
Turner.
a
I said that Turner Hayes. I said that.
Yeah. Oh,
he's just a
sorry.
bitch.
Yeah, but I'm. It's just kind of. It's really just lacking, and it had potential. Like if they literally just used the core four characters and did a show, I would have probably liked it a little bit more. They're taking too many liberties, or they took since it got canceled. But
And
they took too many liberties with these new characters to make their own story, and it was for me it was stupid.
I
Yes.
liked seeing the Talon live action. I thought that was cool if he did
Yeah.
look a little derpy,
I wanted to
right?
say that. Yes, I wanted to say that the live action Talon looked cool
Okay, so
in the
Harvey
one
Dent
scene
and
that I
Talon.
saw him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The show should have just been Harvey Dent versus Talon. And then it would've
Yes.
been yeah.
The
I'm
the court of,
arresting you.
the, c-
And just stab.
the Court of Owls masks. I feel like
Stupid.
they looked really stupid, like wood carved. Like they could have gone and gotten those little plastic masks that they handed out a couple years ago when they did the Court of Owls the first time, and put those on them, and it would have looked a lot better.
Yeah. Well, since we're bringing it up, which one between the show and the game has the better Gotham? I think the Court of Owls falls under Gotham of like which one was done better. And I agree, the game Court of Owls was 10 times better than
Yep.
this Court of Owls. Because I didn't make it far into the show, but I did like some clips on like TikTok to like see what's going on. And the masks do look really weird. It's like they but like you probably said this, Devin. The comic that came out a few years ago of like where it included the comic
I
Court of
have the
Owls.
mask. Hang on, I'll go grab it.
Yeah, yeah. That is what they should have used in the show. Now, the Court of Owls themselves are a really interesting concept to have in
Yeah.
Gotham. So I love seeing it. I just wish it was in a better show. But yeah, it was a little bit lacking. What
I
about
mean,
you?
I feel like that's everything that we're saying about DC that's come out is it's lacking. And
Yes.
so I'm not surprised about this. I gave it a chance. The first episode, oh, it was so hard to watch. Like I didn't want to
Yes.
continue,
I
but
put it off. I put it off for like 2 days. I watched half of the first episode. I was like, "This is stupid."
yeah, it
And
was.
then
It
took a
was.
break and then decided I was like, "Okay, maybe if I go back, it'll be something else." And I'm like, "No, it's still just as bad."
It was hard, just that first episode, but it did get better because things got more interesting in the first episode.
Yeah.
Uh, and I will say that the whole Talon thing really carried the show for me because that was really it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we all know about the Court of Owls, even before this came out. And so it that was interesting, but nothing much really happened in the show of the Court of Owls. It was just all
They were
right.
there.
Here's the kids, and then here's the Court of Owls doing things, but they never did big things.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, we know the Court of Owls is out there and they're doing something, and then just in the end is when they do a big thing. But I guess maybe this was supposed to be the build up to do more, and then they got canceled. So
Yeah.
maybe that could have been a potential for a next season. But yeah, they flopped pretty hard that they got canceled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this not a better mask?
That's a great mask. I love that mask.
Like, if it had been this with a little bit more like defined, like little beak thing, like I would have loved this as opposed to that weird elongated like
It was more
thing.
It was
Yeah.
it was like pear shaped, and the beak was a little bit longer. It just looked weird. But
And then-
back to like the original thing was, I did like the feel of Gotham in the CW show. I thought it reminded me a lot of like the Dark Knight, mainly Batman Begins. Gotham, it's just kind of dirty, grungy. It just seems like a dark, crime-ridden place, and
Yes.
it looked really good. And I thought the tone of the Gotham was going to carry into the writing, and it didn't. I was like, "Damn it!" Because it looks good. It
Yeah.
looks like a good show until they start talking.
You
And
know,
it's just, damn it,
you know what else, Greg?
huh?
They show the Batman mask in like the first
Oh.
episode or so, and it looks garbage.
It looks so bad.
That's why it was hard for me for that first episode, because the quality of stuff in that
Yes.
straight garbage.
Garbage.
Nothing
Yup.
good.
Yeah. But that kind of brings me into my next point. Which which Batman had the better death? Cuz I didn't finish the show. So I'm still kind of believing that Batman's not dead. And spoilers for the game, Batman's not dead in that one either. And so it's just kind of like I was hoping that like maybe Batman's going to show back up and be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a winner, and I'm gonna save the show." But I couldn't make it that far. But which Batman had the better arc, or lack thereof, the death of it, I guess.
Well, in the show, doesn't he just like get shot?
And pushed out a
Yeah,
window
I thought he just
Yeah.
got pushed out of a window.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
from the top
So-
of Wayne Tower, pretty
Yeah.
much.
So
That's the thing too. He falls from like almost the top window of Wayne Tower on the ground. It's still a full on body. There should be parts of viscera
There's no
across the street. Like,
Yeah.
no.
so
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and say Gotham Knights the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game had the better.
Tim, I know you haven't played it. Did you ever watch like the opening video of the game, like the battle with Bruce Wayne and how he dies?
I think so.
With
Yes. I think it
Dude,
was.
it is. It is. Mwah. It's like when DC Universe came out a long time ago, and we saw like the whole opening credit scene.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Just-
talking about? And we were
that
like,
was
"Oh,
awesome.
that's so cool! That's so cool!" That's
Remi-
what this was.
Remind me of Gotham Knights'
It was Ra's al Ghul and Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
fighting in that cave.
in his
And it
cave.
was
That's
just
right.
so bad. It was badass.
Yeah.
And like it kind of tricked me. I was like, "Oh, if this is the intro, I can't wait to see the game." And the
Yeah,
game was
right.
like, "Oh, this game sucks." But I don't know.
Bring Batman by. Just do.
I want to play as Batman.
Another issue that I had with the game is like they flaunt this like customization like of the suits and stuff,
Horrible.
and like you can do it to a point, but like if you but like you must have the suit on to customize it a little bit. But if you don't have the suit and you want to wear a different suit, you can use transmogs. But you can't alter the transmogs in any freaking way.
Yeah.
Not by color, not by anything.
Yeah.
And I hated that. I thought that was really stupid.
And along the same lines is you get a suit after each mission, it seems. And you can't really get used to one suit because then you get a better suit the next mission, then it
Yeah.
changes your whole look. It's just like, all right, I'm just gonna keep changing suits every chapter and every mission.
Yeah. I
Because it's
used
weird.
I think I used the Nightwing. I just used his like main suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm
Okay.
going to stick with this because this is great. I love this.
Like just the visual of the main suit.
Yeah,
or-
yeah. Like the sorry. I think when I got it, I used a gift card and I got like whatever the extra stuff was because I was like, I think I'm gonna like this game, and I did, but still. But so I had like the classic like Nightwing suit, like the streamlined everything, and I just stuck with that because I was like, no point in changing it if I can't choose what I like.
I know. Might as well just. If I look good, I'll feel good, and
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah. But I guess we're kind of all in agreement that the game is the superior show. I mean,
Yeah.
the superior Gotham Knights. My bad. Sorry.
The show, the only
what
good actor was the blonde girl. I
uh,
can't.
Stephanie Brown?
Yeah, her. She was the only good actor in that show, along with Misha.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have loved to see, like, in the show, I would have loved to see at some point, like, their suits and to see what they could, like, what the CW could make for their suits. Because the suits for, like, the Talon were cool.
Yeah.
And the suits that they've done for, like, other superhero shows were cool. So I wanted to see, like, Stephanie Brown in her spoiler suit and Blue Jay in her, like, Blue Jay suit. But
Well, that leads
they
me
didn't.
into my next question. What is something you would want to do that you think could better the show or the game?
That's a lot to ask.
Well, for me, the game, I mean, obviously Rocksteady didn't make it, but they should have done as close as they could have to what the Arkham games were. Because those Arkham games were near perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect combat, perfect just overall look and feel of what Batman is. Tim is mocking me.
I
But
don't know what you're talking about.
if they would have just done something closer to the Arkham series, it would have been really good.
I think I know what you're saying. Like, Batman in those games, he was he was an ultimate superhero. In
Yeah.
the Gotham Knights, they're still just the babies.
Yeah.
So there's nothing big about them. So
Like, I felt
you don't get anything big in the game
yeah.
except for you're traversing things, and those are very lackluster, and so it just keeps them as you know as the amateurs. That there's nothing big.
Yeah. Like,
To
in the Arkham games, I felt badass and I felt like Batman whenever I would fight.
Yeah,
Gotham Knights, I I I hated the combat. It was like I was weak. I couldn't actually fight anybody. Like, Devin tried to play with me one day, and I told him, I was like, I can't get past this. Like, I don't know where to go. I don't
You
know what to do.
also
I don't know how to
played, like, I played as Red Hood for a while, and he is probably the most clunky character to play as.
yeah. Because one of the first things you can get is you can put a bomb on them and then push them and stuff like that. It's hard to aim that person that you're trying to, if he's the first one you hit, put a bomb and try and push him into a group.
But
They
even
stumble and don't go where you want and stuff like that.
even just like actual, like, the gun hand to hand combat or stuff like that, all of that, even just like shooting, that's so clunky.
The animation of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, if it were me, I liked the format from, like, the Batman games of, like, oh yeah, the city has villains or, like, bad guys everywhere. But when you actually get to where you're supposed to be, there is, like, things to do. You know what I mean? As
Yeah.
opposed to, like, this game where, like, I have to go fight so many bad guys around the city before I can get the intel to go do the thing that I need to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
that was sort of an interesting way to go about it. But
It was, but not for every mission of of the
yeah,
whole game.
yeah,
Yeah. If the
Yeah,
for me,
yeah.
the big thing is a game that's based on combat, and if the combat's not fun, the game's not going to be fun.
well,
for me.
yeah. That's the whole. That's the center of it is the
And
fighting.
I didn't find it fun, and so that is one of the big things I would change about the game, because it did have a good story. I really enjoyed the story
Yeah.
of the game. It was compelling. It was interesting. I was genuinely interested in solving the Batman mystery kind of stuff of it, and it was fun. The Court of Owls were cool. It had potential, but it was just so damn annoying to chore through the combat.
And
Yeah.
some of the oh, biscuits, I lost it.
You know who I want to hear
The-
from? I want to
The
hear from Tim.
bosses.
I want to
Some of
hear
the
what
bosses
10
were good.
thinks.
I haven't played the video game, so it's gonna be yeah. I will say this has been very productive in terms of a podcast for me because I've got us connected to so many podcast networks right now.
Yeah.
It's noise. It is
No.
like, thank God I didn't really play the game or watch the TV show, right?
You're doing the behind the scenes work that matters.
Yeah, yeah. One day we'll be rich. Okay, we'll be slightly less poor and a famous podcast.
There
Tim
we
is
go.
the equivalent of our intern.
Well, let's talk about the show now. What would you have changed about the show that you think could have made it better?
Outside of like the cast and people.
Outside of the
Yeah.
cast.
Not
Yeah.
give it to CW because every time I watch that show, I'm like, oh man, Talon stuff, cool happening. And then we go to the group and I always forget, something cool's happening. Then we go to the group and it's teen drama stuff. I was like, crap, please, please don't. So
I
so that's what CW is known for, is real teen drama stuff.
disappointed because the CW DC CW used to be pretty good.
Yeah.
The Arrow, the early seasons of the Arrow were some of the best
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
DC. Yeah, some of the best DC content that we've seen in a long time.
It used to really mean something.
Yeah, it
to
was
people.
a great, interesting, fun show. I loved it. The Flash, the early season, was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Except
then-
that like 90% of the Flash's villains are always a speedster.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or Gorilla Grodd tries to kill Barack Obama for some reason. Y'all never saw that episode?
I don't remember
Nope.
that. No, that's
Gorilla
insane.
Grodd, Gorilla Grodd goes back into the past to kill a young Barack Obama.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't remember what episode it is, but it's definitely in the Flash.
Now I gotta go watch it.
CW, hey, we can say something about CW. They're not afraid,
Yeah.
putting out all this bad content, but hey, we'll attack a young Barack Obama.
Yeah, but I mean, the shows used to be good, so I'm a little disappointed in them. I don't know what happened with the CWDC, but it just took a huge downgrade.
Well, didn't
Yeah.
Mark Guggenheim he produced most of those good ones and then is left?
Well, that
It's-
was
He
the
saw us thinking shit and probably failed.
It's
Yeah,
the
that was-
writing. I don't know what happened. Maybe they got new writers or something, but I feel like the 2010 era of CW shows were like top tier. And now they've just kind of diminished. I don't know what that's all about, but like I get off on Vampire Diaries, man. That shit was
that's my jam.
yeah, that was
I'm
good.
sure you do.
Yeah, but I mean, like the CW, they do have potential because they did a special recently, the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline,
Yep.
and some of that was actually really good. They brought in Kevin Conroy to play a older Bruce Wayne, and they brought back what's his name, the guy who played Superman in Superman Returns.
Yeah, but he was already in the show.
Yeah, but no, he plays the Atom, but they also
Yeah.
brought him back as
Yeah.
as Superman and all that
Yeah.
stuff in the show. So it had some good moments, but just obviously, I think CW's time with the DC content should come to an end, especially if they're going to be putting out something like Gotham Knights that literally, in my opinion, spat in the face of any kind of Batman story I've ever it's the worst.
I would prefer to watch a show strictly about the Court of Owls, starting in early Gotham.
Yeah, just follow Talon. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be great. And throw in Misha Collins as Harvey Dent just to have some heart.
Yes.
So Two-Face now. Yeah.
Good acting in the show at least.
Reed, does he ever actually fully become Two-Face, or is he still got a normal face?
Have you not finished it either?
Nope. I got
I'm
about
the only
halfway.
one- I'm the only one committed. Cool. Pot committed.
I've seen pictures. He does.
Yes,
become
he becomes Two-Face from acid being thrown or splashed on him.
As he
All right.
deserves.
It looks a lot like the Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight Two-Face. Like he's a little burnt and kind
Yeah.
of tore up, messed up face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all know her as the Joker's daughter.
Yeah.
She's not the Joker's daughter.
Oh.
Who is she?
She's Two-Face's daughter because Harvey Dent.
What?
Yeah, Harvey Dent has multiple personality disorder.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah, and so there's two of him, and he's like he starts blacking out, losing time, not sure hey, why am I here, and then starts worrying, oh no, what did I do? And then he has this idea in his office that I'm gonna record a message for myself next time this happens. And so he starts doing that, and after his recording, he goes, oh there's another message on here. It's a message from his other personality. And
Mhm.
for whenever he becomes Two-Face, it's the other personality that takes over.
Interesting.
So,
I was saying that.
so you were saying like Harvey Dent is the Joker's daughter's father?
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So that's why her name is Duella.
so
Duel.
he did it with Harley Quinn.
Well,
No, she's
also,
not Harley Quinn's daughter either. She's
She's just a random
no,
girl.
she had a name. What was she? I forgot. I forgot. They say what she's known for being
Jane
in
Doe.
there. What?
She's a Jane Doe.
Yeah, her actual name is Jane Doe. But I forget why. I think it's because she stalked Harvey
Uh-huh.
in the show.
Interesting.
So then evil Harvey took her to town.
Yeah, Evil Harley
And
said,
That
"You
was
and said,
so
"Never mind,"
yes,
and walked out.
the reason that he has a daughter is because the other personality had sex with that girl, and
uh-huh.
after that time, she was obsessed with him. The evil personality did it with her. She got locked up because the good personality of Harvey Dent. Okay, so instead of saying personalities, I'll say Harvey Dent and Two-Face. So Harvey Dent was like, "You're crazy. You got to stop following me. I'm putting restraining order, this and that," and that's how she got into asylum. But whenever she was in asylum, she was already pregnant. By
All I know about evil Harvey right now, like Two-Face Harvey, is that he was a horn dog because apparently Lincoln March's wife.
Yep, who is the head of the Court of Owls in this
I'm shocked.
show?
I mean, I could have guessed that.
Yeah.
I know it's supposed to be Lincoln March, but when they were like, "I found this weird coin," I was like, "Well, clearly this is it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder what-
okay. Are any of y'all going to finish Gotham Knights?
God no.
No,
Yeah.
I'll probably skip to the
It's
part where
fresh.
Harvey gets acid in his face.
So,
Yeah, same here.
so Lincoln Marsh's wife, the head of the Court of Owls, is actually from like 1800s, and she has stayed alive with the same stuff that they're using to keep the towns alive. And so I think she had relations with the at Alan Wayne, whoever the older one that they're talking about,
Yeah.
in the show, but she's the one that found this mineral that I guess in the show is supposed to be like the Lazarus pit or something like that.
Dionysium. It's like a watered down Lazarus pit.
No, well, it's not really watered down. It's an actual rock that can be broken down into, I guess, liquid, or somehow suffuse that power into be able to be injected.
Interesting.
Well, let's go into final thoughts and who wins the Gotham brawl. Let's start with Reed. What are your final thoughts, Capes, and who wins?
Let's see. I'll say Gotham Knights, the show. They're both Gotham Knights. I'll say the show, maybe 3.5, 4 capes for me. And then the game, maybe 6.5. There, nothing solid enough for both of them. But yeah, Gotham Knights is fun. Like Devin said, if you wanted to get on for 30 minutes, oh hey, are you gonna get on tonight? Oh, I can't. Okay, then I guess I'll just play
I'm
Gotham
not going to
Knights.
be upset about it if
Yeah,
you don't get to play.
yeah, or it's just a game to fill some time. Yeah,
So the game wins in your eyes.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Devin, what about you?
Well, if Reed gave the show a 3.5, I'm gonna give it a 2. I didn't watch it all, but like Misha Collins was great, but also this show just had bad writing, and I didn't like the people, and I didn't feel connected to anybody. But the Talons were cool.
Mm-hmm.
The one time I saw them.
All right. So which one wins?
The game. I at least enjoyed the game. After like I had to be busy to watch the show and like only half pay attention to it to get through as far as I did.
Okay. Tim.
Out of the two, I would say that Gotham Knights was better than Gotham
Yeah, yeah.
Knights. I mean, it's a slight victory. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it was a landslide by any means, but
Just a pin hair.
they were both pretty lackluster. I don't have much experience with either of them. I will probably, just because of the sunk cause fallacy, it resonates a lot with me, so I'm probably going to watch a few more episodes of the TV show, and I do not foresee myself ever playing the video game.
Are you gonna
Unless you get a
watch
PS5.
like from where you left off?
Yeah, episode 2. Yeah, I'll watch episode
Okay.
2. Yeah.
I didn't know if you were gonna skip to like the good part with Harvey and like skip to the end and just be like, okay, I have an idea of what happened.
Nah,
Fast
that'd be
forward
boring.
all the kid parts.
I
Fast forward all the dialogue with the kids and just play
the
it whenever Harvey does.
in episode 1 in the cell, that scene was the most cringe. And then they like did the camera angle where the Joker's daughter, or Harvey's daughter, and Batman's son were like this close, and it made you think, are they gonna kiss? But they were really just trying to be intense. That made me feel gross.
It's like, should I be watching this?
I
This is
know.
just
Am I about to get raided by the FBI right now? Shit. I mean, shoot.
It
okay.
was getting real hot because he saw him do that shirt thing. He's like, ooh.
So,
Ooh,
in your
mommy.
opinion, which one wins?
Gotham
He said
Knights.
Gotham Knights.
Yeah,
too.
get it together.
Well,
Yeah.
which one?
I say Gotham Knights gets a 1 out of 10 capes, and then Gotham Knights gets maybe a 1.5 out of 10 capes.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So, for me, definitely the game wins. The show owes me, I'd say, a couple of capes. I did not like the show. The writing was trash. Even though Misha Collins was great, he couldn't save this show. He wasn't in it enough. And I have zero to no interest in continuing this show. The game, I'd give it 5 capes. It was fun for a bit. I love the story. Just wish I enjoyed the gameplay a little bit more. The traversing is terrible. It could have been great, and I'm still hoping that maybe they'll just do a magical patch that makes it fun. But it's been too long.
I think you should go ahead and finish the game and just like streamline the story. Don't worry about like the side quests of like Mr. Freeze and all that other stuff. Just streamline the story.
Okay.
So at least you can say like, oh, you finished it since that's the part you were invested in.
I did it. So yeah. I think that will do it for us for today.
Woo!
Thank you guys for joining us today with the Cape Complainers. Be sure to like and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And be sure to check out our YouTube channel. We are sometimes streaming Baldur's Gate, and we are streaming our episodes. No, posting our episodes. Yeah,
On Twitch?
and shorts on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I said, right?
Yeah,
I
we
don't know.
post shorts. If Ben ever edits them,
If
I know.
Ben.
Here's one job.
one job, he's ignoring us. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Google
SoundCloud,
Podcasts,
Google Podcasts. We're everywhere now,
Pandora,
baby.
TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Samsung Podcasts, Amazon Music, Everything now. Everything.
We're on everything now.
Yeah.
And don't forget that nobody complains like a fan. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'm gonna
Alrighty.
end this